In today's class, we'll learn about eubacteria. The eubacteria, these bacteria can be classified into two major groups on the basis of a staining technique developed by Hans Christian Gram. He developed a staining technique and by which the bacteria were classified into gram positive and gram negative bacteria. Under his technique, what Gram did was that he developed a dye made up of crystal, violet and iodine. When he applied this dye to bacteria, some of the bacteria, they acquired a violet color and some they did not acquire any violet color. So these bacteria came to be known as gram positive and these came to be known as gram negative. Now why this difference came about? When further detailed study of their structures was done, it was found that the difference lies in the cell wall. Now the cell wall, if we see of gram positive bacteria, this cell wall is very thick. The cell wall of these bacteria was very thick and this is the thick cell wall. Thick wall of mucopolysaccharides and it also had teichoic acid in it. This chemical was present in the gram positive bacteria and the gram negative bacteria, the cell wall was very thin. It also contained the same cell wall, but this cell wall was very thin. And what also was there, that outside this cell wall, there were more layers, more complex walls and more complex layers surrounding this cell wall. So because of the presence of this complex layer, this layer was made up of complex proteins, lipids, carbohydrates, and this layer prevented the action of crystal violet and iodine. And because the stain is taken by the mucopolysaccharide and teichoic acid only, the stain is taken by the cell wall only. And because of the presence of these extra layers in the gram negative bacteria, this dye was not able to reach this cell wall. So it did not acquire any stain. And this is also the reason why gram negative bacteria is most virulent and disease causing bacteria, and it is resistant to the action of most medicines and most drugs that we give to the patients because of the protective layering outside the actual cell wall. So on the basis of staining technique, the eubacteria can be classified into gram positive and gram negative. And another, so this was the basis of staining. It was classified into this two groups. Another basis is on the basis of modes of nutrition, On the basis of modes of nutrition also, the bacteria, they can be classified as autotrophs, and heterotrophs. Now coming to the autotrophs, these autotrophic bacteria, again they can be autotrophic and chemoautotropic. The photoautotrophic bacteria, they utilize the sunlight. Now the photoautotrophic bacteria, they use sunlight and they also use water, and they all inside their bodies they have pigments like chlorophyll A, phycocyanin, carotene, xanthophyll. These pigments are mainly present in these photoautotrophic bacteria. So all these are the ingredients of photosynthesis, and therefore in these photoautotrophic bacteria, what happens is photosynthesis takes place. And as a result of photosynthesis, what happens as a result of photosynthesis? Wherever it plants, you must have known, whenever photosynthesis occurs, oxygen is released and food is formed, the glucose is formed. So these photoautotrophic bacteria, they were the first bacteria or the first organisms to fix oxygen, to release oxygen on earth. These were the photoautotrophic bacteria, were the first organisms to convert the reducing atmosphere of the earth to oxidizing atmosphere, because primitive earth had a reducing atmosphere. So these photoautotrophic bacteria, they released oxygen. These were the first organisms. Now examples of photoautotrophic is blue-green algae, or it is also known as cyanobacteria. Another example of photoautotrophic is, we can say, the examples of these blue-green algae and cyanobacteria are under them Nostoc, Anabaena, are the main ones. Also there are Nitrobacter. This we won't take. First we'll talk about Nostoc and Anabaena. These Nostoc and Anabaena, they are oxygen releasing. They release oxygen, but they also help in nitrogen fixation. These Nostoc and Anabaena, they can be found. Now, how are they found? They can be found either individually, they can be filamentous, or they can also be found as colonies. Now when found in colonies, like these are the filaments and these are the colonies, they are surrounded by a layer of mucilage. When surrounded by a layer of mucilage, they become very slippery. This is a layer of mucilage around the colonies of photosynthetic bacteria like Nostoc and Anabaena. So this is the mucilage. It makes them very, very slippery. And you must have observed these as a green scum on the surface of water bodies, especially in the rainy season. So this is photoautotropic bacteria releasing oxygen. And these photoautotropic bacteria, not only do they release oxygen, they can also be nitrogen fixing. The Nostoc, Anabaena, there are few more like Nitrobacter, Nitrosomonas. They are, and also Nostoc and Anabaena, they fix, what they do is fix atmospheric nitrogen for the plants. How do they fix atmospheric nitrogen is that some of these filaments, when they are in the filaments, some of the cells, they become specialized and they become thick-walled, thick in size. So these thick-walled cells are called heterocysts. In these heterocysts, the nitrogen fixation takes place because for the formation of oxygen, this is aerobic, this takes place, this is aerobic, it needs oxygen, and nitrogen fixation, this happens in the absence of, nitrogen fixation happens in the absence of any oxygen. So some of the cells, they become thick-walled, they cut off the supply of oxygen, and so nitrogen fixation can take place in these cells. But these heterocysts are not found in all the photoautotropic bacteria. In some of them they are found. For example, in Nostoc and Anabaena, there are more cells like Oscillatoria. In them they are not found. So this was how the photoautotropic bacteria releasing oxygen, and also they are fixing the atmospheric nitrogen. Next, we come to the chemoautotropic bacteria. The chemoautotropic bacteria, they do their work in just the reverse manner of what the photoautotropic and these nitrogen fixing bacteria were doing. The chemoautotropic bacteria, what they do is they act as denitrifying bacteria. Denitrifying means what they do is they convert the nitrites, these compounds, what these have done, they reverse their action back to the nitrogen. They will break down these compounds and release nitrogen. Also, some more chemoautotropic bacteria, what they will do is they will break down sulfur compounds, iron compounds. They will break down these compounds and they will release iron and sulfur back to the atmosphere. For example, in this case, you can take Thiobacillus. For here, denitrifying bacteria. An example you can give of Pseudomonas. Here, Thiobacillus bacteria. So, in the process of breaking down, in the process of releasing these compounds, energy is released, and this energy they utilize for their own metabolism. So this is an example of chemoautotropic bacteria. Next, we come to, this is regarding the, so we have done about the autotrophs, photoautotropic and chemoautotropic. Next, we learn about the heterotrophic bacteria. are going to understand what we mean by living. In the NCERT textbooks, chapter 1, biodiversity in the living organisms, the first topic that we come across is living. So we try to understand what exactly defines